Call of Duty Warzone Season 2 is finally here. Got to say, it's a very welcome update, but boy, it's a chunky one. We've got new POIs, we've got lots of new features, and more importantly, we've got some quality of life updates. So we're going to get straight into the patch notes. Not going to bother going over everything in specific, minute detail, but I'm going to cover the high-level, important things, or things I think will be interesting to you. Anything I miss, just let me know. I will make sure I feature it in a future video. So Season 2 launch was yesterday. I've basically decided to do it a day late because I wanted to get a feel for some of these changes and confirm whether or not I give my opinion based on that, rather than just putting the news out, as I'm sure you've probably heard about what a lot of these things are on a high level. We're actually going to get into some of the features. So new Nebula, V, ammo, bombs, etc. It's basically gas bombs and bullets. There's also portable decontamination stations. These are things that allow you to survive in the gas for up to 13 seconds, and if you've got 4 of them, so 4 squad mates, you could really work for some interesting plays. That with a gas mask and stims. Yeah, lots of new kind of gameplay mechanics that could be played out there. There's new vehicles. There's a bomber plane. I think this is just for Vanguard Royale. Not too interested in that. New locations. So there's some underground weapons, chemical weapons research labs, and there's also the new chemical factory. There's a big red button in it. Don't know what happens when you push it, but you should definitely check that out if that's something that interests you. New modes, Caldera, Clash. Wasn't too interested in that myself, but Rebirth Reinforced is going to be a mid-season update, so we're excited to see what that's all about. It's going to be Resurgence on Rebirth Island, but they're not talking about the game mode, so I think it's going to be some changes to the POIs. We've already had confirmed a full map update on Rebirth Island, so we'll see how that actually plays out. They've also said that their philosophy during the last month or two has to be focused on quality of life updates, so there's quite a lot of those in here. For the playlist, the main thing I care about is Rebirth Island quads is in every week for the next 5 weeks, so that's really cool to see. There are some additional changes to the playlists, but you can find those on the website. I'll link that in the description. New Battle Pass, all the usual business, not too interested. New event, if you're interested in that, check it out, but it's essentially focused around their new chemical weapons storyline. Could be cool, not really for me. It's the Clash game mode, but on Caldera. Okay, we won't go over Clash in too much detail or any at all. Rebirth Iron Trials, that is coming mid-season. I believe that's either on the 3rd of March or the 23rd of March. I think I'm leaning towards the 23rd of March. That's going to be super cool. This is going to be the calling card reward. It's essentially going to be Iron Trials with the same sort of BR Circle Collapse kind of formula, but it's going to be slower time to kill, more plates. Oh no, it is the 3rd of March. My bad. There we go. More plates, more health. So really interesting to see how that plays out on a smaller map, because last time we saw that was on Verdansk 84. Caldera Resurgence in season, so that's the Caldera that we all know and love, but the Resurgence game mode, so that's going to be pretty cool. I'll definitely check that out. Battle Royale adjustments. So I'm not going to go over it in minute detail, but essentially they've improved the public events, so they're things like supply choppers, fire sales and jailbreaks. They're going to be rotating those more consistently. They've updated what the rotation of the contracts are, so that's going to be recon, bounty, most wanted, scavenger and supply run. They've got rid of the big game bounties. They're a bit overpowered, so it's probably a good thing. Economy rebalance and ground loot update, so standard mid-season or end of season changes there. That's for the standard Battle Royale mode. For the Vanguard Royale mode, they're kind of treating this as a bit more of a sandbox, and essentially what they're going to do is use this to test their new things before, new features and new adjustments before they make it into the Battle Royale mode, the main Battle Royale mode. They're getting rid of stuns, but they are allowing thermites, and they're moving up the loadout, and you can buy the loadout from the end of the second circle, start the second circle to the as the first circle starts to collapse. So if you play that, could be interesting. Public events, there's going to be the fire sale, the jailbreak, resurgence, restock, cash drops, and heavy weapons drops. Loot, dead silence being removed, stun grenades being removed, thermites added, UAVs added to ground loot, economy rebalance, and ground loot weapons. UAVs have been removed from all the buy stations, and they're only available as contract rewards. So that could slow things down and stop the sweaty people relying on buying UAVs, going to kill people, buying UAVs, going to kill people. So it should make the world records a lot harder to hit. Map updates. Chemical factory, as we discussed. This is an updated POI. It's now focused around chemical storyline. Looks alright. Not going to go into it too much. Gameplay, new features. So these are redeploy balloons. If you haven't seen or haven't played Apex Legends, these balloons are, I think, they can be destroyed and repaired, and I think they're dotted around the map, but essentially they zip you up into the air and then you can parachute down. It gives you a new way of traversing the map, a new way of getting from point A to point B without having to run through the open middle of nowhere. So that could be a cool and interesting feature for different gameplay. They have added NPCs, so just AI, computer-based enemies into various different points around the map. So they're going to be in the chemical factory and notably in the guard towers around the factory. So that could be cool if you're into that sort of thing. Portable decontamination stations, or PDS. These is what I mentioned earlier. You get 13 seconds in the gas. New nebula rounds. So these are gas rounds, and they essentially will do damage over time, a bit like incendiary but gas related. They leave a small gas cloud, so if you're downed, it's unlikely you'll be got back up unless the person's got a gas mask maybe. Armoured convoys, these have been like knocking about during the season. Same with nebula bombs and the new vehicles, so it's cool. General dead silence is now classified as legendary, so you're not going to find that everywhere. Boxes and ground loan contracts have all been kind of updated. Planes have been disabled for solo queue across all modes. Gameplay adjustments. Okay, so these are cool ones. Aim assist when you're stunned has been nerfed essentially. Plating will now refill a full plate and leave the little bit at the end. It basically replaces a full plate rather than topping up a broken one, so that's a pretty cool one. Gas mask animation, essentially you have to put your gas mask on. It won't automatically interrupt you if you're aimed down sight. So if you go into the gas not aimed down sight, it will put it on. If not, it will keep you aimed down sight, but you will lose health and your gas mask will tick even if you haven't got it on. So it's one to watch out for. Gas canisters essentially been nerfed. Gulag, the spectator footsteps have been lowered slightly because that was quite annoying. Mantling traversal, essentially buffed mantling, so you can mantle or climb to a slightly higher height, which is definitely an improvement. Vehicle adjustments, they've basically sort of brought the vehicles in line with the Verdansk vehicles to make them a little bit more or less pansy, should we put it lightly. UX, lots of UX improvements and also lots of bug fixes, so you can pause and read it if you want. I'm not going to bore you all in the video, but just lots of quality of life things that were incorrect now been made correct. They do have a Trello board, which if you guys want in the comments, we can always make a video to go over that. Just let me know what your thoughts are. New weapons, we've got a new assault rifle, sort of slow and steady, kind of accurate, bit of a beamer probably. I've seen some videos, I think it is quite good. And then we've got a trusty LMG, which is also probably good but not quite meta. Seems to be a new way of doing it. They've added some unlock missions for some of these guns, so if you're interested in these you can unlock them like this. Now for weapon adjustments. I really don't want to spend too much time going into all of these. We're already 9 minutes deep into a video, but MP40's been buffed a bit, nerfed a bit. The C58's been nerfed a bit. A few of the handguns been adjusted. The Bren's been nerfed, but not enough. sniper rifles, and a few of the attachments. One of the notable things I will mention is Incendiary's been kind of nerfed. They are making the attributes to the different types of weapons a bit more appropriate and a bit more balanced, so it's really good to see. But essentially, you might be better off repping something like Hollow Point. Lengthened is down, but they do add the bullet velocity towards the barrels rather than on the ammo. So blah 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 blah. Loads more. If you really want me to go over these, I will make a video, but I doubt you do. I will be making videos when I find what I feel is meta and what's worth using. The well gun is definitely worth using still. MP40 is still okay to use, but I will have a video in the next couple of days on an STG SMG that I've been playing with and got a nice win at Rebirth Island with it yesterday. So definitely check that one out. If you're not, please do subscribe and wait for that video. Drop a like on this video just to let me know that you've enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, let me know in the comments why you're not. Let me know what you'd like to see, because I'm always trying to improve. I'm always out here seeing what I can do to do my best. Loads more changes. Blah blah blah. God, we'd be here all day if we went over these. Okay, new operators, standard stuff. And the download sizes. You've probably downloaded it by now, but if you haven't, there's the download sizes. I'll get out of the way of those. Cool. So hopefully you enjoyed the video and you found it useful. If you're too lazy to read those patch notes, come back. I'll always be covering the patch notes. The main season updates, try and do them maybe a day late so I can get a feel for them. In-season patch notes, I'll be doing them as they drop, within the hour. So subscribe, like, all that bullshit. Super appreciate you staying to the end. If you've made it this far, let me know in the comments if you made it this far, because audience retention is important to me. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next one, and peace out.